Yeah, what's up? We are live with the Digital Creators Podcast. I'm here with Harif Guzman. Welcome, Harif.
Thank you for having me.
Harif Guzman is a world-renowned contemporary artist and fashion designer born in Venezuela. Harif grew up in New York City. In his youth, he worked in his father's print shop where he gained appreciation for mechanical reproduction. Guzman's art, he creates art of extremes, bringing together street culture with fine art. And can you tell us a bit about where you've exhibited your art? Like you've been internationally, exhibited.
Yeah. Asia, Australia, I did a show there with Bigfoot, China Heights Gallery in Surrey Hills. London, Moscow, MoMA, Dubai, Paris, Germany, etc. Yeah, it's been quite a nice time.
Have you sort of transitioned to being more of like a painter nowadays? Like used to be more sort of street art, but
I mean, I think I've been painting for 5 years for the past 26 years. You know what I mean?
okay, cool.
I've been kind of got involved in a lot of other things. And I kind of just studied into other things, but painting I plan to being in Germany now. I'm more focused, and it's a much better environment for painters. I guess that's why 80% of all the painters live in Vienna, Belgium, or Germany.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. It's very I don't know, something about it there is really nice, especially in Berlin. You just feel free from a lot of stuff that you feel tied down to in other cities.
why do you say it's better for painters there?
I just think you're more free. Me being an American, South American, I'm pretty much American. I was born in South America, but I'm a New Yorker. I live in LA, San Francisco, Miami. And especially being out in Germany, I don't speak German, so I don't even understand half the conversations. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of like in my own little world right there. And I have a cool, pretty interesting situation set up with the vodka company that I had there with the Stauffenberg family and the Art Foundation, where I do residency programs for emerging artists. I've done about 8 so far, and I'm really feel satisfied with what I'm doing there. So that's nice.
Cool. And how has street art and the perception of street art changed since the 90s?
Well, I never was a street artist. I started painting inside, and then I find myself in a rough position when I relocated to New York again. So I really didn't have anywhere else to paint. So it was kind of happened by default, and I never really had a plan at that point for my art. And then I remember I took some classes at the Student Arts League on 57th, I believe. And that's really when I began to think about art in a different way. I think and then throughout the next year and a half, 2 years, I read some people that kind of made me think about the 5-year plan thing. I didn't understand what that was. I never went to art school, and so it was all new to me. And so when you say what's the difference between street art now, I think is that everyone's doing it. I don't know. I don't really think too much about the difference or the indifference of it. I just kind of stay in my own. I think there's more of it with technology, I guess, has progressed, and Instagram, and everyone's a DJ, everyone's a painter. But I think as long as you're having fun, it doesn't matter. Like with anything, I'm a skater in the beginning, so everything started with skateboarding. And skateboarding taught me, like, if you're not having fun, you're not skateboarding. You know what I mean? So it's like the same. I took that kind of mental attitude with everything. I'm not having fun, not my passion. And I think now with social media, people are comparing themselves to other people. Maybe you don't feel as successful as the other person, or this bullshit or that. And I try to stay away from that kind of mind state. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So yeah, you're always trying to have fun with your art as well, right?
With anything I do. If not, why am I doing it?
So then what if, for example, it's not say your art isn't selling, Because when you're an artist, of course, it's a form of self-expression, but when you grow as an artist, maybe that you have like more investors involved, or maybe you're trying to make an income. So does that kind of dictate what art you're going to create, like the market in a way?
No, not at all. I feel like, for instance, I used to do the show in Perth. No one even knows about me over there.
Yeah.
I'll sell something. I don't know. I just did it because I love art. And think about Damien Hirst. No one even came to his first show. Cezanne died a loser. His family and kids weren't even there. Gauguin died a loser too. You know what I mean? Van Gogh didn't sell one piece of art his whole life. And I don't think art and money have nothing to do with each other. It's about attitude, commitment, and discipline. You know what I mean? To like what you love in life, you know? And a lot of the greats, they died losers in their mind. And we know that's not true. You know, I think you shouldn't make things just because they sell. You should make things because you want to make them. And that's the whole purpose of the whole thing, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's why it's so hard to be an artist today. It's like you've really got to be like committed to your craft and like block out all these other things that kind of come in and try and affect your process.
Yeah, and that's why I said it's harder now with social media, because you don't have that privacy anymore. You know, whether you like it or not, you run to a website, another artist, you know, oh, look at him, he's doing this, that, but it's all an illusion. Somebody may be more commercially successful. They might not be as happy as you are. It's all smoke and mirrors, man.
Yeah. So you've always been like that, just like nothing's really dictated.
I mean, I think
you're creating.
I think when you travel, I mean, especially me, most of my shows I've done places like I painted, except for the MoMA Moscow retrospect. Most times I would go to Australia and paint everything there, or go to a place in China, paint everything there, and hang out for 3 months. You know what I mean? 4 months. And I think when you do that, your paintings come out different because one, you might not have that clean studio set up to paint. So then when you paint, it has to be something that's more raw. And then if you have a clean studio set up, then you can do really different kind of paintings because you don't have to worry about dust or shit fucking up your art, messing up the whole process of the art, the way the art looks. So everything comes out different. But it kind of you kind of want to maintain it. I mean, for me, I've been consistent with the street art hacking stuff. It's white, red, and black, and I always knew I wanted that because people can always recognize it. Oh, that's so straight. Because those colors, you know what I'm saying? Colors were really important to me growing up. My father worked in the print shop, color and Pantones and typesetting and that sort of thing. So I always knew I wanted to kind of maintain the same color combination for my street stuff.
One of my questions was to do with the fact that we live in a digital age and like the algorithm is kind of determining what art is seen. What advice would you give to artists today to kind of navigate that?
Comparison's a thief of joy, right? So you just can't compare yourself to anybody else, even though it's going to be hard. I guess everyone to fix it, but I would just say, like, keep your head down, work hard, stay focused on what you're doing, and try not to compare yourself to other people.
Do you think ahead with your art and like where you're going and like plan stuff, or you just?
Yeah, a lot of it's inspired by books, photographs, nature, relationships. So yeah, there are some. It's pretty much the idea is premeditated, but the actual flow of painting is. You know what I mean? This translates from your brain, the energy you receive from your brain, the universe here. Boom, your brain's like a AM FM radio receiver, and then it comes out through your hand, and then they're right there. But it's all subliminal of things that happen to you. For instance, the printing. My father, the reason that you see those paintings in Australia, they're all unregistered, right? Is because I think as a child, my dad was so stressed out when the printing wasn't registered perfect because you had customers waiting for stuff, so you curse everyone out, blah, blah, blah. Fuck, I'd be so stressed as a kid. You know, I was like 8 years old, 7 working with him. And then when it was working well, he was so happy. Like, yeah, he was singing. And then I think now when I do these paintings, I think it's active rebellion, or like, I want to make it messy, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
subliminally things come out of your work later in life.
When did you realize that? When did you make that connection that you think it was like a subliminal thing from your childhood?
Well, I think it's about becoming an adult man. I think when you're young, you don't realize now that I'm a grown man. I think things that you think about at 20 are not the things you think about 30. Where Fred Henry was saying today, you know, and when you're 40, you think about different things. When you're 50, you think about different things. When you're 65, 70, you know, so everything changes gradually. And then I think you have time to reflect on actually what happened.
Do you think you need life experience to make great art? Do you think you can be like a young artist and make great art?
I mean, what is great art? I don't know. We only grow from discomfort. So I do think you need some sort of discomfort in your life to grow in any way. And I think painting is a part of that growth. So that being said, it's up to you. I don't know. I don't want to spoil the fun. But yeah, definitely I think something needs to happen. There needs to be a catalyst or some sort of thing going on.
In street art, there's what's known as tagging, which means like tagging a name or a symbol everywhere. It could be on the street, on the wall, or public transport, even on shop windows. Then there's the type of art that focuses more on like visual imagery. Where do you draw the line on what's ethical? And in Harif's perfect world, where do you draw the line between what is progressive expression for a culturally rich society and what is property damage?
I think you should do whatever you want, your life, your way. I don't tell people what to do. I think that's the whole punk rock attitude I kind of was born into when I went to New York in 1980. I was 5. And my whole approach was just that punk attitude. So it's just like, don't tell anyone what the fuck to do and shut the fuck up. You didn't talk that much back then when you were young. Just keep your fucking mouth shut. You get fucking lumped. So it's like, if someone wants to fucking break a window and destroy a building, and that's their life, man, their way. I'm not here. I'm not a judge. I've never had that. I think you have to be born with like that whole kind of attitude or intuition. I never had that. I was just like, I grew up in bad neighborhoods, and it was just kind of keep your head down, watch your back, and don't talk too much around the older dudes. Especially I'm a skater, so back then as a young little skater, I was pretty good, better than the older dudes. And they were pretty fucking scary, some of those dudes. And I was just like, holy shit, these guys are fucking gnarly. And like, I just kind of kept my mouth shut, sit at the skate shop with your mouth shut and skate. And that was it, man. A different time now. I think people, I don't know, it was a different time. But so my whole attitude was just let everyone do what they want. Don't tell them what to do.
Cool. Yeah, here in Perth, Australia, it's like tough to express yourself as a street artist. I've seen in places like Paris and New York, they kind of seem to understand it a bit more. They've got more like dedicated walls. And I'd love to see that in my city, but like, yeah, the government here is just very strict on that sort of stuff. So how can one make fun? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And like we're going into Web 3.0, which is NFTs, augmented reality, artificial intelligence. Have you made moves to be a part of the next wave of digital art? What are your thoughts on that?
I can't wait to throw my phone in the garbage one day, man. I'm done. I hate it. I mean, I don't hate anything really, but it's just like, I think I've had to do so much things on so many things, and I think I'm working towards a future that I'm successful enough to not have a phone. You know what I mean? I just don't. I don't want to be in the phone all the fucking time and on the phone checking email. I don't want anything to do with it anymore, really. So I'm working really hard to get rid of my phone and not have one. I think that's the true sign of success is not having a phone. Having someone else deal with that stuff and then create and make paintings, traditional paintings, you know?
You think that's bad? You'll probably be living in the goggles soon. The new Apple goggles or something.
Yeah, I think it's my goal to just paint old traditional style. I'm always like looking for new technologies and tech to work in, but I don't I did graphic arts in the early 2000s a little bit. I don't know, just something about, I think being on the being on the being on the screen all the time is just like kills my vibe now.
Yeah.
Staring at a computer. You got to check your phone. People sleep next to their phone. The phone here, just checking Instagram, scrolling. Oh, look at this. It's just too much for me. That's why I think living in Europe has taught me it's about more quality of life. And I'm pushing towards becoming better at that, just not being on my phone so much and kind of just reading more and but not on the phone. You know what I mean? Like everything's just on the phone.
Yeah.
You read on the phone now. You talk to your friends on your phone. You talk to your mom on the phone. FaceTime video. You check your. I think the old school traditional things, Charlie Rose show is nice when you're sitting next to someone in front of them. It seems a little more personal, but I don't know. Yeah, so that being said.
Life's definitely better in reality. Like even I find with these podcasts and stuff, like a conversation you have like with the person next to you is like so much more like in depth. You can see them, you can see their emotions, their expression. But I guess it is what it is.
It is. I'm just saying my personal goal is to work towards that.
Is to what?
That's my personal goal, to work towards that. I haven't.
Oh yeah.
I learned technology is great though, and it's done a lot of great things. But for me, I like to use it from a distance, and not so much because I've been a slave to my phone, and I notice it.
Like, do you think it's harder or easier to be an artist in the social media age? I mean, like here you can like reach out to people, you can message people, you can share your work, but at the same time, it's like
ill you are. It depends how mentally ill you are. I don't know, some people can deal with certain things better than others. And I think real painters are all nuts. Everyone's nuts in their own different sweet way. And everyone's hitting different notes. So if you're good at hitting a C sharp note, that's your note. You're good at G flat, whatever it is. You're hitting those notes, man, and it's a mixed salad out there, man. There's no really. I don't think there's a right answer to that one. Is it hard? I know some people like being on the computer all the time. Some people don't. So if you're good at emails, I know that's good for you. If you're good at returning emails and doing that stuff, or stroking people's egos through email all day, your career's gonna go far.
And
but is your respect gonna go far?
When you were living on the streets of New York, did you have this like goal and this vision to become like this big artist, and you were kind of like working towards that goal, or were you just like purely expressing yourself and you didn't like even think about that?
Dreams, everybody has dreams. I'm a young kid, but I think a lot of the first jobs I got was just, oh wow, I need to pay my rent, or I got an apartment now when I got off the street, and I was just like, okay, we're looking for a styling assistant. I'll do it. Oh, okay, we're looking for a set design person for this. Okay, I'll do it. We need a lighting assistant. Boom. And then you start to learn these things, and that leads to okay, I got a loft. Okay, well, how am I going to pay for it? I think I started a photo studio. I started a photo studio called Whiplash Studios. And I rented it out to some photographers, Green Black and Angela Boatwright, and different photographers have rented it out for different magazines. And I learned about that, and then I became a photographer more. I was doing skate videos and all these things that you do. Especially skateboarding has taught me that you can't be afraid to fall on your face and eat shit in front of everyone, and you can't be afraid to keep going and trying, because if not, you'll never get good at anything. And I think that's kind of been the vibe for me. It's like keep that kind of mentality.
A lot of this stuff online like lists you as like a fashion designer. Would you call yourself a fashion designer? And what is like your interest in fashion?
I wouldn't say I'm a full-on designer. I think Alexander McQueen's a designer. What I would tell you is I do design certain pieces a month, certain pieces a season that are cool. But also there's certain things that people buy consistently. So it's been a learning progress. My partner John Kuhn from Tycoon Industries has taught me a lot. And yeah, man, I know clothes, but I can't sit there and make you a suit and know your whole hemline from like. I think that's what to call yourself a real designer. I think that's what a real designer is. So I wouldn't say I'm a full-on real designer, but I can design some things, accessories and certain things that I like, and maybe like half and half,
Yeah. So like, why did you get into the fashion scene?
Well, I used to do silk screening and try to sell my own shirts when I was broke, and sell them at little stores and stuff like that. And then I went to the Diesel store, and the owner's sons were there, Lorenzo's sons, Stefano and Audra. And they're like, oh, we like your stuff. It's all over the street, whatever. They used to hook me up. My friend worked at the Diesel store. And they gave me my first show, and they're like, you could do a show here at the 55 DSL store, and then do a T-shirt for us. And that was the beginning of the real one. And then from that, I did Volcom. Volcom reached out, and then I did Burton. I did blah, et cetera, et cetera. Then I started my own thing, hacked it on, and I started selling it at DQM, Dave's Quality Meats, and then that kind of broke up. And I started a company called Lancey in Japan, from New York. And then John Kuhn, who I met at the store downstairs, was like, okay, you want to do a jacket for Young Jeezy? And I was like, cool, let's do one. And then that was such a success that they offered my own capsule. That was the beginning of the Happy Clothing brand in 2013. And from there, now we've been around 10 years.
Oh yeah, so it was kind of like, it was more of a natural process from like you screen printing and then people kind of seeing your work more.
I've always liked clothes. I've always liked clothes. My father was a sharp dresser. My mom was also a good stylist.
And what's your kind of, do you have a vision for what you want to do with the fashion stuff? Like, I'm not aware if you have your own line or you're just doing like collaborations at the moment.
No, I'm online. We do every season. Like we work with Harrods, partners with Farfetch and Crawford. Like, so it's pretty out there. Man. The partner is a really serious dude, and he handles it very well. Our company. I'm happy where we're at. I think we're going to expand a little more. COVID, it was a little dark for everyone, but I think it's going to be okay. Fashion's in a weird place right now. Anyway. My pieces are more like, we don't overproduce, and they're kind of like, like all archival pieces. They're very rare.
Yeah. Why do you say fashion's in a weird place?
Because no one's buying stuff, man. Everyone's economy's terrible. And everybody wants to, instead of the $150 hoodie, they want the $30 hoodie and the $20 t-shirt. Like I said, it's all smoke and mirrors, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you do you focus a lot on the quality of materials and that sort of thing?
Yeah, quality is 100% important. Like I said, if you research what we do, you understand the quality of our stuff is 100% on point. That goes without saying. My partner is not a joke. He's really talented. Those materials, create his own fabric. We're very lucky to meet him and join up with him. And it's just me and him doing the company too. So there's no like big conglomerate that owns us or funds us. It's just me and him.
Do you work on the silhouettes of the clothing as well, or are you mostly and like the pattern making and that, or are you mostly like the visuals, the colors and
give me options. I suggest some things sometimes that I like, and that's just the basis of it. It's all based off my art. Everything has my drawings on it. So it's been another way for me to express myself artistically.
Yeah, I think you've kind of, I guess that's the goal of every artist, is to kind of have this work that can be recognized, and then you can use it. Doesn't matter if it's fashion or paintings or online, like digital art. Like once your work can be recognized, like you can kind of do it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We got another 8 minutes. Do you categorize your art into commercial and non-commercial stuff, like before you sell it? Like,
I don't even sell it. Other people sell it. I just make it. You know what I mean? I don't like Camille's you selling. I'm not even there. You know, like sometimes if it's a friend of a friend or something, yeah. But I don't really make stuff because it's gonna sell. I'm not, you know, then you have that commercial shit. No, I do my own. The thing is, I do my own commercial thing for my own brand. So, you know, as to where other brands are licensing out Kenny Sharf, which is amazing, and all these amazing artists. I am my own. I don't have to license when I'm creating my own brand. So it's like I don't really attach myself to any big brands personally, but it takes longer and it's harder. It's kind of just the path that was brought my way naturally. I mean,
I think that's like the goal. Like, I don't even know if you think about the marketing side of art, but as someone who's, I'm a photographer, so I'm trying to get like my photos out there and that sort of thing. Of course, I'd love to just like go out there and shoot, but I feel like I got to think about marketing. Like, how can I get my stuff out there? Like, how can this sell? What's my...
Some point. If not, you have to have a good team, man. Someone that does it for you. I don't think about. I have a whole marketing team. You know, you have to understand that everything is instinct, but also you have to learn from others, people that are best at their field. You kind of just gotta watch and take what you can from that.
So yeah, I think so. Like, have a team, but I mean, you didn't always have a team.
I try to surround myself around people way smarter than me. It's probably isn't that hard, but I just try to like. I look up to certain people and I ask them questions. You know, like, hey, how'd you do this? You know, I think a lot of people go too. Certain people are afraid to approach people that they admire. And I think you should go up to people you admire and ask them, hey, how did you do it? Especially at a young age, because I think at a young age, people are more likely to help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As to when you're older, people are like, who the fuck is this dude? I mean, when you're young, and you got to be an asshole. If some 16-year-old kid comes up to you and asks you, hey, how do you do it? You're like, you know, so I think it's about asking questions and being humble and, you know, not being scared. Like I said, it all goes back to that whole skateboarding about now you can't be scared to look stupid. And, you know, you can't always be the coolest and the best on the mini ramp. If not, you're never going to get good. You stand on the mini ramp all day. And because you're scared to drop in and look stupid. Same thing in your career. You don't go up and call Steve Meisel up. Keep calling him until he hits you back. Call your favorite photographer, whoever it is. Be like, hey, man, I want to take a meeting. I don't know. All they can say is no. But watch what they did. Study what they did. That's why studying is so important. You study people, what they did, and the formulas all stay the same. Formulas all stay the same throughout time. They've been proven to work. They will always work. So I think that's, you as a photographer should think about that. Who are your favorite photographers and what did they do? What steps did they take?
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my favorite photographers are like the legends, like Robert Frank, Joseph Cordega, and like those black and white classic street photographers. But man, social media is it's just not for photography. Like the Instagram is all like video, and then you got TikTok, and you got to like put all this crap music over it, and it's just like I had my first exhibition earlier this year to like get my work out, and that felt like, yeah, it felt that was progressive. Just having real people see it rather than like this social media stuff. But yeah, it's hard to figure out in the digital age, I guess.
Yes, sir. So we all will, though.
And what would you say is like affecting your art the most, like now? Like maybe it's, yeah, like what's influencing your work the most? What are you thinking about?
That guy over there influences me. You see that dude all the way over there? He's the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Henry, people like that, people that are 100% real to the craft and have that passion. And I've been very lucky and fortunate to be around in skateboarding and Muska or Paulo Diaz or Henry Taylor or Danny Fox or Mark Gonzales or anyone. I've been very fortunate to have time to spend with them and learn from them. You know what I mean? Kind of we all learn from each other, I guess. But it's been very nice. I think to be, you have to kind of be an admirer of a lot of other people, and then that kind of flows over into you because appreciation and gratefulness leads to abundance. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like if you want to create this type of art, which is everyone has different styles. This is what I'm about. You know what I mean? Trying to stay positive and move forward and express your sadness and fears in different ways where it can come out as a positive outlet towards other people. You know?
So it's
I'll
like
leave it at that.
the people around you, the culture that you surround yourself with, that's kind of like you're taking different lessons and maybe
Well, that's
things they
common
say.
sense, right? You're like 85, 90% of who you surround yourself with. 5 people that you surround yourself with, that's 95, probably 98% of who you are. True or false? You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that.
Just facts, man. Yeah. So if you're trying to get somewhere and no one in your crew's uplifting each other, are you guys putting each other down or helping each other come up? Then why the fuck are you even hanging out? You know what I'm saying? There's things you have to think about, just the common sense basics of life, and then you apply them to whatever you're doing.
Cool. Last question. Where in the world excites you the most? Maybe it could be a place that you want to, go there, create and express your art, maybe exhibit your art.
Right here, Paris, Germany, Bahamas. I don't know, wherever I'm alive, man. Just being alive is great. But Paris definitely is very inspirational. And Germany's more free, but Paris is so inspirational right now. And like I said, I'm really happy to be here. Yeah, that's about it, man. I'm really grateful for everything.
Cool. Yeah, really appreciate you coming on to the podcast and chat with me.
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
good to meet you. And where can people find you online? I guess you're trying not to be on your phone, but where should they head to like find it?
Reproduction.com or just my Instagram, I don't know, stuff like that.
Sweet. Awesome, man.
Clothes.com. Yeah. You have a great day, man. Great night.
Yeah. Peace.
All right, bye.